How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. Welcome back to Digimon Ghost Game episode review and recap. That's right, Toei has brought back all their stuff after that month-long hiatus of everything where they had a hack. We are back, Jack. And today's episode is episode 22, Nightmare. And it's kind of funny, right? Because I forsake all the weird non-official YouTube stuff. I'm like, yeah, even though I would love to review these earlier, I can get more work and other stuff done, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait. And it came out, was it 9:30 Central Time? And I was hyped. I was like, I get to hear the theme song. I get to see what's going on, and yeah. So before I begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers, and then after that, we're going to go further beyond. And do not forget to hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this, and share this video so others can see what a great time we are having. I say great time. I enjoy discussing Digimon. I really do. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of looking beyond Ghost Game because while the concept is nice, and this concept in this one is kind of interesting itself, but we got to figure out another way how to get to the plot, if that makes any sense. So there's a guy, and we open up on a guy that's running. He's running down this rocky hallway. Then he gets to the end, and like there's water, but I think it might be blood, but it could be lava. Who knows? It's red. We can't really tell. And he wants to get out of here, and then a skeleton claw comes crushing through, saying "rot and decay." I'm just gonna spoil this outright. We are talking about an OG Digimon. We're talking about the Skull Greymon. Sweep. That's right. Everyone's favorite dark evolution that Greymon turned into. When did we first see this? Well, we, of course, saw this in the first season of Digimon Adventure. And I'll just, like I've always been doing, I'll read through and tell you more about this guy. So, he is a skeleton Digimon whose whole body has become nothing but bones. It was a Digimon that put too much importance on fighting, and as a result, its combat instinct clung to its life despite its body rotting away. Rotten decay is what this guy says. And becoming Skull Greymon. As Skull Greymon doesn't even have a scrap of intelligence to balance its combat instincts, its existence is a threat to other Digimon. Its special move is an organic missile. That thing you see, it looks like a big old fish, right? And it's right along the spinal cord. And the move it's called Ground Zero. Now that is not the name that it's called in English because you don't want to call anything Ground Zero, right? They call it Dark Shot in English. Recent research suggests that this has evolved as Oblivion Bird, which has a newly added tracking function and has its power and range significantly upgraded. Something new. Someone added it to the little Digipedia. It's one of the oldest Digimon, and it's quite possibly a bunch of fan favorites. People, when they think of Dark Evolution, they think of this guy. I think I might have actually had this card back in the day. So yes, we are dealing with yet another ultimate. Or are we? Are we? But allow me to continue. So, we are now in the park. There are people laying down sleeping. It's a business. Jellymon apparently with Kiyoshiro as the front man, set up for people who are just they're busy and they just want to sleep. So they're sleeping down the hill. There's cherry blossom trees all around, but we do see a basket in the tree. That's important to pay attention to. They don't show you things for nothing. And I see little bubbles popping out there. But then all of a sudden, Ruli comes out. She's wondering why they are there. And Jellymon is offering to give them a good sleep. But she's there for the cherry blossom. She wanted to come last year. She couldn't. But now she's here with Angoramon, who is semi-digi-invisible. And she says, you know what? If you're not a customer, get lost. And of course, Ruli's like, you're freaking cold, which she is. But, oh, that's not the problem here. Angoramon asks again, what are you doing here? And she shows him the chalk sign. Enjoy the cherry blossoms on a pleasant dream tour. And they call him Dr. Sleep. She calls Kiyoshiro Dr. Sleep. Um, She says they can have a test run, but in return, she wants Ruli to put it on, her website that was talking about all the ghosts and stuff before, Lily Room, whatever it's called, I believe. And she sits them down, and Gorman's like, "Yeah, but how? We can't just magically just instantly go to sleep." And two black bubbles hit the both of them. Now, here's where the problem begins. How in the world? And I wish I could make that more visible for you guys to see. But how in the world do you see black bubbles? And they knew before. Even Kiyoshiro was like, "Oh yeah, the bubbles earlier were clear. Why are they black now?" He says this later on. How do you not notice that? That's one plot hole, but that's not the thing that gets me. It's not. So people starting to wake up and they're screaming like their clothes are tattered, people are hurt, and they're like, "What the heck are you doing? What have you done?" And Kirscher was like, "What are you talking about?" And then the one guy who we thought was in the dream, he reaches out to him. He's still asleep, and he's like, his clothes get instantly ripped up because he got three clawed swiped by Skull Greymon. So the police come and says, "Well, look, it's not really a crime what you're doing here, but just be careful, all right? Because people have gotten hurt. It's weird." And Jellymon punishes Kiyoshiro by, I guess, hanging him from the tree. I didn't feel any particular way about that until I just said that out loud. But don't worry, if you watch it for yourself, it's a comic thing. It's not that kind of thing. And you know, they're saying Pillamon wasn't doing bad in the very beginning, and everything was being fine. And I'll show you who Pillamon is in a minute. So meanwhile, their friends are still asleep. I'm like, you idiots! Your friends are in there. And Angoramon is instantly, we're in the dream world. I'm just telling you, we're in the dream world. And Angoramon's like, we gotta stay sharp. Something's crazy is going on here. And they've been running from Skull Greymon. And as soon as they get far enough, they're back at this tree. Of course, this guy's going rotten decay, rotten decay. They can't figure out what's going on. They probably don't realize they're actually asleep, which they don't. But then the idiots on the outside realize, oh man, they're getting hurt because Rui has a mark on her arm. So they try to go up and wake up Pillamon. So let me introduce you to Pillamon. While Pillamon is most certainly adorable, right? Oh wait, no one cares about people's fan evolutions. Pillamon is most definitely adorable and appears to be something that someone made for a contest, I think. Let's talk about this rookie mammalian vaccine Digimon. It is a Digimon with the appearance of a pillow and a sheep. It is always floating about while sleeping, although one will fall into a pleasant sleep by snuggling up to Pillowmon. The result dreams they see will be fed on by Pillowmon, and there are two different types of bubbles that float alongside it as it sleeps. If it's sleeping well, anyone who touches it, the lullaby bubble that floats beside it, will instantly be lulled into a pleasant slumber. And if it's not sleeping well, the Akumo no Awa, that black bubble that floats beside them, attacks the spirit by inflicting hallucinations and continuous nightmares. This was actually a winning entry Digimon from the Cross Wars original Digimon contest. This guy first showed up in Cross Wars The Hunters Who Leapt Through Time. Apparently, they were the Ferris wheel cars at the amusement park in Digimon Land. I don't remember this. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't remember this. But yeah. So this is Pillamon. Pillamon is half Digivisible up in that little basket, and that's when they notice the black bubbles. And I'm just like, okay. And even in the dream, even from the dream world to the real world, Angoramon digivolved to Samba Angoramon. So everything that's happening there is being inflicted upon them on the outside. Jellymon tries to wake up Pillamon, but it doesn't work. So Jellymon's like, we gotta go in there. And Kirishiro's like, why? Do you realize if it's a possibility that dying in there means you die out here? She's like, we gotta take things by the hand. Especially since she caused it. And Kirishiro's like, let me message Hero. He calls him, he always calls him by his last name. Let me message Hero first. I'm still thinking to myself, where is Hero? And he does. They both get hit. They both fall asleep. And hold on a second. Nope. There I am. Hero cannot get the message because he says to Gamamon, rule number 2, do not bite my phone. He's like, oh yeah, that's right, can I have some chocolate? He's like, no, you can have some chocolate when my phone is fixed, which will be fixed in 14 minutes. And so they are effectively out of the story for the time being. Inside the dream world, Kiyoshiro and Jellymon are in a dark sea, a dark ocean with turbulent waters, and rising up from the depths like a giant kaiju is Skullgreymon. And he's just trying to swim and get away from it, and Jellymon is being an a-hole, talking about swim faster. Why couldn't you just grab him? Because their whole thing is they gotta go get Ruli and excuse me, Angoramon. And he's like, how about we just bring them to us? And she shoots BB Thunder into the air. Of course, the others see it because they've gotten far enough now. And when Angoramon goes, all right, let's run to him, Ruli's like, don't rush. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, we haven't looped back to the tree because Angoramon said it was a loop. We haven't looped back to the tree, and I'm trying to figure out what's different. And Sabira Angoramon, like, you're a genius. The difference is our distance between us and Skullgreymon. And I'm like, it's not really a genius. It's just she's using common sense to realize, okay, something is different about this situation. But sure, hype up your partner. Everyone needs that, right? So, I digress. Jellymon and Kiyoshiro, they make it to the shore, and they're both approaching one another. And they haven't looped yet, but really wants to take the chance of both of them meeting up. And if they happen to loop, they happen to loop. But she wants to take that chance, and they end up meeting together. Even though the other side, one side is like, "Hey, don't bring your Skullgreymon over to us because we still dealing with this one." But they meet up. They all four loop back to the cherry blossom tree. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. And when Kiyoshiro notices the mark on her hand, he says, "Okay, so I knew this was going on. In the real world, you are hurt. So if you die here, you die in the real world." And obviously, Samba and Goramon and Ruli are like, "What in the world?" And Ruli is just flat out pissed. She's pissed. And Jellymon's being so nonchalant about like, oh, these things happen, and she's like, "You caused this," and that is where I'm going to interject right there. We had a good 3 episodes of Jellymon not being annoying. When she thought everybody had died, she stepped up and worked with Ruli, and it was pretty cool. You know, it kind of changed some of the rules a little bit. There was some awesome stuff going on there. There was some other stuff that was pretty cool. But now we've had, I think, if I can't, I don't remember episodes 19. No, last episode we had to deal with someone getting murdered. But, pardon me. We had episodes before that, before 21. I think it was 20 or 19. We're back to her being the cause of the plot going. I thought she had growth when she turned into Tesla Jellymon. And it's just, the writing is not. When I saw Digimon Fest, and I know I mentioned this last time we had one of these, as I listened to the reasoning behind a lot of things, why they chose 3 Digimon and why they chose 3 humans, because they're supposed to be partners. They're not supposed to talk down to them. And if they've ever actually watched other Digimon series, you would realize that that doesn't happen 8 times out of 10, unless the Digimon is literally like a child. Like when Gilmon was first created, he had to grow up. They didn't really talk down to one another in Data Squad either. They didn't talk down to one another in Cross Wars. It felt like we are too lazy to come up with more characters. We don't want to come up with more characters. We want to stick with the 3-person thing and just consider the other Digimon the other characters. Even though you can have more people, more tamers, and more partners and create more scenarios. But whatever. I'm just, you guys gonna have to come up with something else to be the driving force of things happening. Like last episode with what was her name? Arukenimon or Arachnamon, however you want to say it. That was cool. It's like, yeah, the Digimon is coming to them now. I'm just kind of annoyed that it keeps being ultimate level Digimon. You guys do not create a sense of things going well, because now it just kind of seems like stuff just falls into their lap like season 1 Ash from Pokemon. Anyway, while they're inside, Angoramon uh, basically tells them about Pillamon. Clear bubbles mean good, black bubbles mean bad. And as a matter of fact, when they were first running away, when they were in there in the dream world, they were going to this fallen tower. You can see Pillamon in the background. It's kind of look like he's creeping, like a creeper. Now they all have to run away again because here comes Skull Greymon, and they're like, we can't escape until he wakes up. And Jellymon's like, well, he's been hiding behind us this whole time. And they see him. He's like moving in frame and then moving out and moving in frame. He's too afraid of Skull Greymon to fully come out. Even Ruli's like, how are you afraid of your own dreams? And which I'm kind of like, chill out. Have you never had a nightmare before? Meanwhile, they're just gonna have to take on Skull Greymon. And Jellymon does have some good words for Kiyoshiro, saying, yo, you're gonna have to get rid of that loser attitude. We gotta fight. So obviously she digivolves into Tesla Jellymon. Her attacks doesn't really do anything to it, and she's easily swiped down. But Sambiru and Goramon's like, I'll take the lead. We gotta have a powerful attack. So they do a combined attack. Looks like it does damage. Does nothing. Of course, Kirscher's an idiot, so he runs away, and they're trying to say, we gotta catch up to him, because if he goes too far, oh look, they got looped back to where him and Jellymon entered, which is inside that dark ocean. Now, while Samba and Goramon is trying to get Ruli up, he's sinking down, and Tesla Jellymon's not really doing much. I'm like, realize he could drown, right? Or can he? Because after a while, he starts to realize, wait a minute, I'm underwater, and then here comes Skull Greymon underneath the water, and he's remaining calm, and then he raises his hands, and it's very coincidental that this is happening during Easter weekend. Happy Easter, everybody. And Passover. Happy Passover. Because, like Moses, he parts the ocean, which makes a whirlpool. Samba and Goramon and Ruli about to fall over. Wait, they're floating in the air. And he says, wait a minute, we're in a lucid dream. I did research on lucid dreams. Of course, you did research on lucid dreams. You've done research on everything. You're a genius. I give you the computer stuff and the building stuff, but apparently you're just good at everything. And again, that is not the thing that annoyed me. That's just me going, okay. But research claiming from people who claim that they can control what happens in lucid dreams because they know they're dreaming. And so while this is Pillamon's nightmare, it is also their dream. And we can see Pillamon with the parted waters trying to swim up, but it to no avail. It does not swim up, it just falls back down. So now it's time to kick this thing's butt. And of course, I don't have to tell you guys this already. You already know that when the human says the attack, the Digimon does the attack. So nothing has changed there. Sambiru and Goramon goes in. He's doing his quick little jet kicks, and he turns into 8 versions of himself, does his whirlwind technique. I thought it was going to destroy him. It didn't destroy him. It did hurt him a bit. And meanwhile, what is going on? Nope. A part has just been skipped. And it shouldn't have been skipped. There we go. I skipped the part, and it's kind of the way how they're going to get out of here. Not really. So, Hero's phone is now fixed. He checks it. He's like, oh man, there's a lot of messages. Bakumon. You remember Tapirmon comes out of his phone. And it's like, hey, Jellymon's up to something shady. And he tells him about it in a little back alley. And he's like, hey, just send me in a text message to Kiyoshiro. And he's like, you can do that? I find that really, really cool. So they're going to have to start doing that more when it's like, oh, hey, we're being attacked. Gamamon, getting this text message and send. I will be there soon. So now, as they're realizing this, Tesla Jellymon grows to massive proportions, bigger than Skull Greymon. Absolutely above kaiju level, right? We're talking Gurren Lagann type stuff, and she's pummeling on him, makes his skull crack, does one of her big moves. It looks like a Psycho Crusher. and just destroys him. And Ruli points to Pillowmon to get Sambira and Goramon to grab him. Is it Sambira or is it Samba? I'm just going to Samba. I'm going to call him Samba. And Samba gets him. They're like, all right, we got to wake him up, and that should get us out of here. And Bakuman comes out like, yeah, that's pretty much what will happen. They're all surprised that he's there. And he's like, yeah, I've been rescuing people who have been trapped in Pillowmon's nightmares. I've been doing this all day. And as they're having this conversation, Skullgreymmon's bones start to rattle and form together. And this is after Kiyoshiro made this large triumphant speech about him and Jellymon and them being strong or whatever. And it was, I wouldn't say cute, it was a nice moment, right? And its head not coming on. The fish missile starts to aim at them because remember, the fish missile has eyes as well. And it's like rotten decay. And they all just turn to the Pillowmon and say, "Wake up!" Which it's asleep even in a dream, but eyes open up on the outside. They're all back. Everyone who was hurt before in the hospitals, they wake up. Their damaged arms and stuff are healed. Ruli's healed. Samba and Goramon is healed. And then Pillowmon is talking to them and says, "Wait, where am I at here?" Pillowmon's up and talks to them, and was it sleep in the sleep realm? Where am I at here? It ate too many of human dreams because apparently that's what it does. It also eats human dreams, and it said at one point in time it was chased by Skullgreymon. So whenever it's not feeling well and it has nightmares, it reverts back into oh man, Skullgreymon is gonna get me. Then Jellymon tells him, well, you shouldn't eat too many human dreams, things will overflow. And Ruli very rightfully says, don't act like this isn't your fault. To which again she goes, don't sweat the details, and she's wondering why her and Kiyoshiro are still in shambles while everybody else is healed up. And Bakuman's like, consider it part of your punishment because you caused all this. And she's still trying to get Ruli to put their little business on her website. And she asked Kiyoshiro, can you please put some sense into her? And he's still thinking about the dream where he had power. And he's wondering if it was real. He's like, it felt real. Kiroshiro's weirdness aside, because he's one of those characters that just little fantasy arm thing. That's his childish quirk. Thank you, Comey Can't Communicate, for pointing out that character type to me. But I'm sick of Jellymon, Tesla Jellymon, just Jellymon period, being the cause of this. Even the seal, Sister Mon seal, that thing was her fault because she got her involved in that. She got everybody involved in that crap. Like goodness gracious, grow up. I thought you grew up once you fought King Kakumon, or King Kakumon. No, apparently no. Apparently no. I can't deal with another 4 or 5 episodes where it's her fault. She did a thing and now it's her fault. No. Please come up with other ways. And now we have the haiku poem of Angoramon. Deep sleep, the eternal cage, hell you can't escape. But there isn't a cage that doesn't open. That one is dumb because it does not give good meaning to dreams. Dreams are not a hell cage, guys. Dreams are a playground. Sometimes you have a good time, sometimes you won't. And then Hero checks his phone, like, I'm glad everything worked out. Garamon falls asleep with chocolate on his face, then he goes to sleep. Get a new ending song, which coincidentally, the 3 Digimon that dealt with Kiyoshiro and Jellymon specific episodes show up as he's doing like a hologram Tokyo talk in the ending for the little steals. It's Morishellmon, King Kakumon, and Pillowmon, which I'm like, okay, that was kind of a nice little nod. Apparently, Samba and Angoramon seems to be the form of Angoramon the artists prefer, because at the very end, everyone else is in their little tiny forms, but here he is, all skinny Digimon. What are you trying to say? Bigger Digimon shouldn't show up? Huh? I digress. The next episode is going to be Moaning Bug. Looks like the Digimon partners are going to turn into bugs. Looks like it has to deal with Roachmon. I didn't know Roachmon can infect other Digimon. Looks like Clockmon and Mummymon are going to show back up, so expect the intro to be having them hologram ghosto like it always does. I don't even complain about it at this point. It's been a month. It's been a month since we got anything new. 3 out of 5 is what I score this. Because it is very average for this series. I always judge a show upon itself or its predecessors. Since I find that it would be unfair to judge it based on Digimon 2020, I'll judge it upon itself. It is a fairly average episode. It is 3 out of 5, which I find funny. A little asterisk in here. I find it very funny that a lot of people are just super hyped. They're like, "Oh, Ghost Game is great and it's different and it's wonderful." I'm like, "There's a monster of a week thing. Like that is a very predictable thing to see over and over because there's not really any. I don't want to say there's no consequences, but things just tend to happen. Things don't. There's really not much consequence. Yeah, sure, there was a consequence where Bokumon, the best Bokumon in the Digimon franchise, period, got killed because of Commander Mon that we meet, Gulas Gamamon, and yeah, he's come a couple other times, and we're hinting at something bigger, but they need to just push that forward because I'm getting sick and tired of just it's being Tesla Jellymon's fault, and we need some type of plot. But then people will argue and talk about, oh, this is great. It's so much contrarian stuff on the internet, especially with groups on social media, because I promise you guys, when Digimon Adventure Reboot 2020 first came out, there are a bunch of people talking about it's dumb and it's stupid. But then when they announced that it's a dub, everyone's like, yay! And no shade on the people doing the dub. They did not bring back any of the original actors for that. Granted, I know 2 of them have passed. The person who's done Greymon passed away. And the guy who did Moroku in the Inuyasha franchise, he played a couple of voices. He passed away for the English voices. But if the person who played Mimi, she passed away too. But if Japan could get everyone they could, and they did that to bring you some kind of nostalgia, to give you a story that was familiar yet different at every turn, it was different. I love that series. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 as a whole, or 4.5 out of 5 as a whole. Really, really enjoyed it. Why couldn't they just do that before? I'm not a big fan of modern VAs. There is some stuff that's really good. There's some stuff that's good, but I'm just not a big fan of it myself. So again, I'm just confused on why when it was subbed, it sucked, but now that it's dubbed, people are clamp. You see where the confusion? No consistency, but it's the internet. Anyway, this was the average episode. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. I enjoy hearing from you guys. Please let me know if you like this type of format that they're doing. Let me know if you feel like myself and you're like, we got to get some plot going here, man. We can do, ghost story of the week and still have some plot driving it. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. Hit the share button to share this video for others to see it. And please do not forget to just have a good time. Please be safe this weekend. Thank you all for taking some time out to spend some time with me. As always, be good, be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Be safe out there. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please do not be a jerk. We need less jerks and more nice people. Even if people don't agree with you, be nice. As always, I will definitely see you guys next time.